Good morning. It's a time for another NFL Bucky's Mail Day. This is your host, Mike C. And of course, Star Show. As always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. Well, guys, we got through another draft, and it was a long one, and it's always a struggle. The first night is fantastic, energy's high. Second day is okay. By the third round, it's starting to get a little tiresome. And then the third day, it's a struggle. I will admit it. As much as I love the draft, it's a struggle. And especially when your team doesn't have a lot of picks and there's a lot of gaps in between, a lot of time that they don't pick. A lot of fillers, a lot of, you got to watch a lot of people have their, 3 minutes of fame, as they say. But the city of Detroit did a fantastic job. I heard nothing but great reviews. There was no troubles, no fights, no whatever. So that was fantastic. Everybody loved it. So that was, I love Detroit did a fantastic job. Lions did a very good draft, and I'll give you my overall grade at the end. Carla watched most of the first round with me. I don't think she watched any more of it after that, but that's okay. The Vikings didn't have a ton of picks, to be honest. But the Lions had 6 picks, and we'll go over them in a second. But first, Bucky, what in the world do you have in front of you? This is a incomplete picture frame that I have. I've got the Lions 2 first-round picks. Well, not first round, but two overall picks. I get my English straight, including first rounder and then the second round. But they're not. My thing isn't complete. And this guy here, Carla's one of her picks is on the other side, so I don't want to use that one. So I'll get some from CVS today. I'll get the picture, and I'll show you the complete frame when I'm done with it. So last week's video was at 13, I believe. I just checked, and which is okay. I thought I would do better, to be honest with you, but I mean, Facebook and all that stuff. YouTube was very difficult to get on sometimes. There's so many mocks, so much information. So I've already seen a couple from next year. I know very few of the players for next year. Kind of take a little break. I will be getting, College Football Magazine because I don't know any of these guys. As well as I knew the ones this year, just the opposite for next year. And that's typical because I don't follow college football that closely. And, it's a year-long process. So we'll get there. Don't worry about it. Now, Suki's back. Hi, Suki. Where are you? Oh, you're back in your chair. Okay. The first pick for the Detroit Lions, they traded up with the Cowboys, and they selected cornerback Terrion Arnold from Alabama. In some polls, he was the number 1 cornerback, and it's obvious with the next pick, the Lions targeted cornerback as their weakest link on their team. They got torched last year a number of times, including their playoff wins. They still got torched. So that was obvious after the second pick. Like, okay, that was their main goal, and then they accomplished it. Because their next pick in the second round, they picked Ennis Rakestraw, cornerback from Missouri. A very good corner. Both are excellent cornerbacks, and not the fastest guys, not the biggest guys in the world, but very capable, and I'm very happy with those first 2 picks. Now the next pick, I have trouble with this. In the third round, they traded up. Excuse me, in the fourth round, they traded up. That's those gaps they have. That makes your interest a little bit strained. But so to trade up in the fourth round, they gave a next year's third, which I was not a fan. I'm still not a fan of. I thought, who in the hell are they? They have their eyes on for this guy. So I waited. There's edges out there. They could have picked. They could have picked. Braden Allen from Wisconsin, they could have picked him. Wide receivers, which they did not pick. So that, well, okay, we'll see what they did, but they didn't pick any of those guys. They picked offensive tackle Giovanni Manu from Canada, British Columbia, Canada. And I'm, part Canadian, but still like, who in the hell? I mean, I check my magazine, no mention, not even close. They had, video and stuff on him. He's kind of a freak in nature. He's like 6'8", quote unquote fast, agile. But, competition's like, But they all seem to love him. They just went crazy for him. They showed him in the war room. They all had their Dan Campbell black jerseys on, which is really cool to see. And it's like, I'm still underwhelmed and like, who the hell is this guy? But you trust Brad Holmes, we'll see. But he's going to prove it a lot. The next pick in the 4th round, they picked running back / safety, Sian Vakai from Utah. Versatile guy, jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife kind of a guy. Mainly a safety. And, good pick. I've seen him, mocked to the Lions, so he wasn't a total stranger. He did do some running back, and he's pretty good at that. So he might be a third back. We'll see what happens. But I would have, liked the Wisconsin guy to go there. But they don't listen to me, Bucky. Again, another drought to the 6th round. They picked, and I've seen this guy mocked him, defensive tackle, Makai Wingo from LSU. And defensive tackle was, an area of need they could have used. Smaller, he's like 6'2", but more of a nose tackle. Does have some pass rushing skill. So I like that pick, actually. And a lot of places gave, high marks for the last 2 picks. With their second 6th round pick, they picked guard, another area need, Christian Mahogany from BC. They got high marks for that for both the last 2 picks. And so not a lot of picks, but, good quality picks. But that offensive tackle I'm going to have to wait and see on that one. But overall, it was a great draft, a lot of fun. I watched it till the very end of Mr. Relevant. And, it gets tiring because you get these people on there with their 3 minutes of fame. They introduce all these players. A lot of foreign, not celebrities, but some, different countries, which is fine. I got no problem with that. And some of the broadcasts didn't quite work out, but that's to be expected. So that's overall grade. I'm going to give it an A-, mostly because of that 3rd pick. That's still a very good, very good grade, I thought. I'm giving the Vikings an A. They traded up 1 spot for J.J. McCarthy, and then they drafted Dallas Turner, which was a shock because the Falcons just threw a total curveball. At number 8, they drafted Michael Penix Jr., and that just floored everybody. It's like, really? So that was a surprise. They could have had Dallas Turner, and the Vikings would have got him, but that was a shock. And they're still talking about it today. They'll talk about it for quite a while. They had 6 quarterbacks go. Bo Nix went to the Broncos. So if you're a quarterback, you had a pretty good day. First 3 picks for quarterbacks. Caleb Williams went first, which is fantastic. To the Bears. So NFC North had some good draft picks. It's going to be a much tougher division, but the Lions are prepared for it. Lions also had some undrafted free agents. There was a wide receiver, an edge they drafted, a kicker, which I'm not sure why they did that, but the UFL guy is still out there. But so Lions overall did very well. It's an A minus, and A. I gave them an A. That's right. I gave Vikings an A minus. So I'm going to finish my plaque, my wall hanging, and get that done maybe today. And so I'm sad. It's always tough when the draft's over because you invest so much in it, so much time and effort and everything else and emotion. So you're bound to have a letdown afterwards. So I'm gonna take a little break from mock drafts and stuff like that. Like I said, I'll get my college magazine and start reading up on them. Of course, I love college football, so we'll get to know these guys. Like every year I go through this, but we'll get there, Bucky. And so next week we'll go back to our cards and other fun stuff. But I said last week's video did 13. I think I mentioned that. I'm not sure, but just in case. So I think that's about it, Bucky. So I hope everybody enjoyed the draft, and let's get back to real life and see what happens. All right. So for Mike Scene, of course, it's our show. As always, it's Bucky. Say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye, and we'll catch you next week. And take care. All right. Bye now.